All right. Good morning to everybody who's jumping on with us. Happy Friday. It is Friday, right? Yes.
TGIF.
All right, cool. As you guys are jumping in to join, I'm going to give you the ability to talk. So if you want to ask questions or anything, feel free to unmute yourself. There we go. And we still have some people coming in, so we'll give just a few minutes for everybody to join. Got ourselves a good crowd today, and I'm happy about that.
And it's Friday, so the weekend's right around the corner.
Right. I'm ready for that too. I like the weekends. But at least I get to have a little bit of fun today with doing this.
Hey, Paul. Hey,
Yes,
everyone.
sir.
Just wanted to say hi.
Hey, morning, guys. Appreciate everyone hopping on a Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, all three of us just got back from a Florida event a couple days ago. So Florida was a lot of fun.
And warm.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm back up in
higher-
Virginia now.
Yeah.
It's like what, 20 degrees? Florida was 80. That was a crazy shift in temperature for me.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot better in Nashville. It's like, what happened? Ugh,
Yeah.
got cold.
What's the temperature in Nashville right now?
It says it's 38. So yeah, chilly.
It's chilly. It's chilly.
Yeah,
I was wearing a triple layer when I flew out of Dulles International Airport. Land in Florida, I'm like, I was sweating I was sweating. Like, wow, it's still 80 degrees out here or down there. And the humidity too. That was killer.
There's no getting away from that humidity, though.
Yeah. Didn't see any gators. A little disappointed.
You didn't look hard enough. They were there.
Probably.
They were there.
Is this where we start to make Florida Gators football jokes?
Please do.
I mean, you know, at any point, knock yourself out.
I live right outside of DC, so our football team is what, the Commanders now?
Commanders.
That's
rumors.
as bad as the renaming of the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh wow, pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. But we still kept our team color, so I do like the burgundy red.
Yeah.
Cool. Are we waiting on anyone else, or should we go ahead and get started?
Let me look. I think we can get started. We've got a good group on here. We do have some other people that are signed up, but they can come in as they see fit.
Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and kick it off, guys. So again, appreciate you guys hopping on a Friday. TGIF. Our team here just got back from a Florida event, so it was a packed full week for us for sure. But glad we're all here.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon we can hang out with you guys in person as well. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. We can always do one-on-one sessions as well. So yeah, Harvey, I'll go ahead and kick it off to you. If you want to do, I guess I'll do a quick introduction to myself. So my name is Paul Nguyen. I'm a senior channel SC with Nutanix. Been here close to 5 years. Time definitely flies when you're having fun with XenTegra.
Yes.
And Harvey, I'll kick it off to you and Philip to the intros.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I will.
Oops.
I'll let Phil go first. You go back. Go ahead, Mr. Phil. Knock yourself out there.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Well, no, I guess this is still morning. Yeah,
It
I
is
don't know
still
what day
morning.
it is.
We had a long week. We had a long week in Florida. You guys can tell.
Usually that's me. I'm like, good morning. Oh, wait, wait, which is it?
Exactly, right? So, well, what's great is you're on time and you showed up, and so are we. We're right here with you too. I'm
That's
Phil
right.
Sellers, the solutions architect here at XenTegra. I spent a lot of time as a customer, worked with these guys as a customer at two different firms, and recently joined up as a solutions architect. Been in the industry about 25 years, a little bit of an Apple geek, if you can't tell behind me. I spent some time as a IT social influencer, a little bit of time as a programmer, but my true passions are really around infrastructure and doing cool things like what we're going to show you today with Nutanix file in the data center. Harvey?
Yes, sir. So Harvey Green, you guys have probably seen me plenty. I am based outside of Charlotte. I've been in the industry now for a little over 20 years, which makes me feel old every time I have to say that. Geez. And I kind of wear a lot of hats here. So I am a solutions architect, and I also run the XenTegra Gov organization, which is catered directly for state and local government, education, and federal government. So for those of you on that are in any of those verticals, you'll probably see a lot more of me as well. So thanks for jumping on and attending with us, and we'll jump in. So we kind of let you know a little bit about us so far. We'll let you know a little bit about the organization's XenTegra for those of you who are new to XenTegra.
We got about 20 people on. Do you want to do a quick round of intros, or would 20 be too long?
I mean, we can get it in. I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go down the list, guys. Feel free to go off mute. I like to keep our community very close knit. You can see we're very interactive and we're very talkative. Yeah, I like to know, give me your name, your role, any experience in Nutanix, and what you like to learn from today, and something you'd like to do for fun. I like to play tennis, so there's that as well. First on my list, I have Aaron Williams. If you want to go ahead and do a quick intro.
Hey everyone, my name is Aaron. I'm with TransFlow. We produce software and scanning solutions for the trucking industry. I am an IT systems engineer, so I've done a lot of work in Nutanix, and the primary role is managing some of the virtual systems and environments that we maintain.
Cool. And what do you like to do for fun? Can't be all about work.
I have 4 dogs, so my life revolves around them.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have 3 Shibas and a Tibetan Spaniel, and they're all rescues.
Shiba, you need so bad. Those Japanese dogs are so cute.
Yeah, and so we were part of a large Shiba Inu group here in Tampa, and so we're always doing things with them.
I need to come down again to Florida to hang out with you for sure. Cool, thank you,
Absolutely,
Aaron.
that'd be great.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for that. Devin Tilley, you're next.
Hi, I'm Devin. I work for Beacon Credit Union, based out of Indiana. My title's DevOps engineer, but I mostly focus on EUC and just trying to automate that and make it a little bit safer in terms of usability.
It's not in this class today, but we do have a lot of automation tools within Nutanix that a lot of customers don't know about. Yeah, we could always chat offline a little more on that. But EUC VDI is huge for us as well. So definitely in a good class. Oh, and what do you like to do for fun?
Just the normal stuff, long walks on the beach, dancing in the rain, whatever, like what everybody else does. So.
In the breeze.
Yeah.
Go out when the full moon. I like it. Alvaro Tobias. Cool. I'll skip. Amit Kumar. I don't think you're logged in to chat, or if you can log in. Amit, are you there? I'll skip right on through for time. Bill Grubber.
Hey, I work for Availity. We do healthcare software. Think clearinghouse. We're based in Jacksonville, but I'm remote in Nashville.
Okay.
I'm a system engineer here, and primary role is around Citrix, VDI, DAS.
Perfect.
So we actually have another team that manages the Nutanix cluster, but I still have my hands in there a lot, and so I am looking forward to learning a lot more about the Nutanix files side of it. And for fun, I like to fly RC planes. I don't do it and get out as much as I used to.
Yeah.
So I need to get back to doing more of that. But
Nice. I actually have one sales rep that does the remote car events.
okay. Yeah, we do a little bit of that, not so much
Uh-huh.
anymore either. But yeah, the cars are fun.
Nice, nice, very nice. Brian Anderson. Christopher Kraus, you're next.
Yeah, I'm Christopher Kraus. I work with Spotsylvania County government. My title is network support specialist, but I'm kind of a jack of all trades here, as well as most of us here.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, hobbies. I don't know. I'm a dad, so I pretty much do whatever my kid does, and learning the sport of soccer because that's what he plays now. So
World Cup is coming up. World Cup is coming up.
Nice.
Franklin O.
Okay, I'm with Pulsatronics. I do primarily do IT support and user support. Yeah, Office 365, Active Directory administration. Also do a little some VMware server administration as well, and the antivirus endpoint user solution, stuff like that. Some of what got me interested is because some of my colleagues in Asia also use Nutanix as their I think the source solution. I don't use it in my site, but they've used it before, and they also used other software solutions to help like move data center stuff for SCP. And what I do for fun, hiking is one of my fun activities I like to do.
Nice, nice. Yeah, definitely in a good spot today. Check us out. Ask any questions you have, and hopefully we can win your business over for sure. Thank you. It's going out of order here for me. Pretty sure I apologize ahead of time if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Hosena Windemu?
Hosanna Ondemu, Director of IT at Community Health Center. I became a customer of Nutanix a year and a half ago. Accidentally, I met them on another trade show during COVID, like Zoom, and I was in the process of looking for a better virtualization. I was in Hyper-V, and I was having a lot of issues. So now we have them in, and then I got introduced to XenTegra recently, and I want to learn the file server. Like before I commit everything, I want to learn, I want to see what it can do. At the moment, we are not fully committed to file server.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And trade shows event goes wise, we do have one, if you're in the US, one coming out in Chicago called .next. Definitely something to check out for sure. Janelle Pervez, sorry.
Janelle stuck his in the chat. Finally, a Nutanix customer. Sounds like he's happy about that. Up and running Nutanix storage managed by Enterprise IT.
Perfect, perfect. Jim Kelpin.
Yes, Jim Calpin. I'm a network technician for Penridge School District in Pennsylvania. I kind of do a little bit of everything. I could go on forever about that. But we've been a Nutanix customer for, I would say, close to 2 years now. And then for fun, I have 2 dogs. I like to spend time with them, and I like to go fishing a lot when the weather's a little bit warmer.
Nice. Yep. It's fun. It's relaxing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's coming around to being that that forbidden time of year for that, huh?
Yeah, and I've never been ice fishing, so I don't plan to.
Me neither.
Oops. Justin Brandt.
Yep, I am from Beacon Credit Union. I am a IT systems administrator, primarily with VMware and Nutanix. And I'm a volunteer firefighter and EMT, so I run around and jump on the boo-boo bus when I'm bored.
Nice. Come save my life, whatever you need.
Fact.
I used to live in California, so fires are pretty rampant.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you before, Lewis Bridgewater. I think you've been in our boot camp before.
Yes, I have. My name is Louis Bridgewater. I am a systems IT specialist at Harbor Regional Center. We help people with disabilities. And for fun, I do a little bit of everything. Fishing. I also like tennis. So
yes.
Maybe we can spar one day.
Yeah, a lot of us are getting to pickleball now.
Oh, really?
yeah. It's the fastest growing sport, at least in my area. A lot of tennis players are switching over to pickleball. Okay,
I haven't tried that. I have to try
it. Check it out. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
But cool. Thanks for joining again. Great to see you. 3 more people to go. Nathan Anderson. Did I go through you already? Might have.
No. You can call me Nate if you want. I am the IT manager at TransFlow, and we had just completed our transfer from VMware to Nutanix just weeks ago. Been working on moving 400 VMs since practically February or March. And while we have our Nutanix files installed and turned on, we haven't really started to use it yet in a live way. So, but so far so good. I mean, the initial testing looks awesome, and we're excited about that. I just like going places on airplanes.
There you go. There you go. I just got off an airplane from Florida. Sean Lee. Okay. Last one, Wilfredo Gomez. Cool. All right, let's keep on moving. This slide is gonna be everyone's favorite slide.
Hey, it's the Bronco.
Harvey or Philip, you guys wanna?
I was gonna say, yeah, who doesn't love a Bronco, right?
Who doesn't
Is
love
that built on Nutanix?
Who doesn't love a free Bronco? So,
Hey, yes.
yeah, hop out to workhasnoboundaries.com and go sign up. And if you win and you tell them that you won it because you came to our workshop, I'll come take a picture with you while you test drive me around. How about that?
I'll sit in the back seat. How about that?
Nice.
Recording in progress.
All right. All right. Gotta love it. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Matthew McConaughey.
So real quick, who's XenTegra? Who are we? We are a reseller. We are a consulting partner, and we exist to basically help you get the most out of your IT. So we have an education first sort of philosophy. That's why we do these workshops. That's why we try to give back to the community. And we want to build that community with you and help you succeed. That is our goal at the end of the day. We were founded on that simple principle. And so that's what we're here to do. Got a quick question, it looks like maybe from Brian. Nope. Okay, we'll keep going. So our team has over 716 years of end user compute experience. We have more professionals probably than anybody else in the US to help you succeed when it comes to end user compute. That's our heritage. That's what got us started. We started out as a Citrix partner. Our founder worked for Citrix, and he actually worked with me as my Citrix SE years and years ago before he founded XenTegra. We've got 10 years under our belt today, helping customers succeed, helping you develop programs and strategies that will take you further. And we truly believe in partnership. We believe that begins with education, but it also begins with sitting beside you, helping you, and delivering you first-class technical services that will let your business succeed in whatever it is you choose to do.
Yeah, so for that approach, we've won some awards from our vendor partners. This is actually a picture from winning Citrix Worldwide Partner of the Year. I think this was 2018. We also won US Partner of the Year 2019, won numerous awards for Partner of the Year with iGel. Still working on my Nutanix Partner of the Year, Paul.
The event, we have an event coming up, so might be that.
So, you know, being recognized and awarded by the vendors is great, but really what we're here for is to be, you know, your partner of the year. We want to work with you, do everything that we can for you. And we'd love for you to feel like, you know, that we're your partner of the year. Events.XenTegra.com is where you can go to our website, check out all the events that we have. As Paul has kind of alluded to a couple of times, we just had an event in Florida, what, 2 days ago? Was that yesterday or the day before?
The day before. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, and that was, you know, our events aren't all, you know, just everybody comes together and you sit and, you know, look at a PowerPoint. This particular one, they played in the arcade. They had go-karts. That this place also had laser tag and some other stuff. So we do a lot of fun stuff too, to try to make sure that we're not just, you know, the dry people with the PowerPoint slides. Let's go have some fun together. Events.XenTegra.com is where you can see what is going on. We do events all over the nation. So we should have something close to you. And we'd love to see you come out and have some fun with us and learn a little bit more about what we do and talk to some of the people around you that you probably haven't met before that do what you do as well. Webinars.XenTegra.com is where you can go to check our webinar Wednesday schedule. We do a webinar each Wednesday, at least one each Wednesday, sometimes two, to try to fit in teaching you about the newer technologies. Those time slots are a lot more abbreviated than this. They're about 45 minutes or so. A good chance for you to jump in and learn about some new technology, maybe get some questions answered, some of those.
And probably win a prize, maybe.
And probably win a prize. Good point. Podcast.XenTegra.com is where we have the link to all of our podcasts. I believe at this point we have 10 or 11. We keep adding to them and just kind of expanding what we do. I mean, again, our main focus is to make sure that we help you guys get educated, that we help you get enabled into some of these newer technologies so that you can at least have the facts in front of you so that you can make smart decisions. So try to make sure that you're informed. This slide is kind of our bit of a NASCAR slide for those of you who like NASCAR. These are a bunch of our different customers that we work with today. What you'll see on this list is a bunch of different types of customers. I mean, we've got financial institutions on here. We've got some universities. We've got some hospitals. Even got HBO on here. They do TV if you've never heard of them, wink, wink. Continental Tires, right? All kinds of companies, some big, some small. That part doesn't matter to us. We treat you guys all the same, try to give you the best of what we have everywhere, no matter how big or small you are. And we want to jump in and do what we can to help bring you into the future, help you kind of make the technology disappear for your end users, and try to help you guys, keep your hair, not go crazy. So
So as a
again,
partner, we do lots of different things. So we work with all of the major vendors in the marketplace. Again, we do consulting services, managed services, and one that I think we've got a slide coming up, so I'm going to jump ahead to it and we'll skip over it when we get there. But we also do these micro assessments and stuff free of charge to you. They are 4-hour free assessments. You can tell I'm not polished or practiced up here, but these micro assessments are really useful from a customer's perspective. XenTegra gives you time. We come in, look at your environment against best practices, and then we offer back some really good recommendations for you, completely free of charge to you. So if that's something that would be helpful to you in your environment, then by all means, reach out to your client executive. And if you don't have or don't know your client executive, you can reach out to one of us. We'll get you connected and get you started with one of those free micro assessments. It looks like one of the slides we also skipped over. We do staffing, we do IT staffing, jobs.xentegra.com. So if you're looking for your next role, or if you're trying to fill a role, that's a resource for you as well.
absolutely.
Cool. So thank you, XenTegra. XenTegra has been an awesome partner with Nutanix. They're a big Citrix partner as well, which works perfectly with our platform. Maybe 4 or 5 months ago, Citrix did announce that we're their preferred platform of choice. That's really huge, right? Citrix never announces those kind of things. We reciprocate the same thing with Citrix is our preferred VDI broker. So the partnership with XenTegra Nutanix has always been amazing. You guys are definitely in the right place there. But let's go ahead and dive into our unified storage files bootcamp. I put unified storage because we did bundle together, right, objects, block, and files into a single SKU bundle for you guys to purchase. Again, right, I like to keep my presentations very interactive, but please interrupt me anytime. I'm pretty used to it. I like to keep it interactive and then just me reading a slide all day. But I want to dive real quick for anyone that's new to Nutanix. Just a quick background of HCI, and then we'll dive right into files analytics, and objects and everything else. So just real quick, again, I'll go through the slides very quickly. What is HCI? To understand that, let's take a quick step backwards. What most customers are familiar with is the 3-tiered environment, right? That's running network, switches, your server with virtualization on top, and a point SAN solution. What is the problem with 3-tier? 3-tier, right? You might have 3 different vendors that's in your environment. You have to make sure when you upgrade, they all work together. You have siloed teams, right? Let's say you have a VM admin or a database admin that needs more storage, but then your storage admin's out on vacation. You have to wait a little longer, right, for them to come back to carve out a LUN or a data store for you to grow. A lot of different issues, right, with 3-tier. We try to modernize your environment by collapsing all 3-tier into a 2U appliance called Nutanix. So Nutanix, what we're trying to go for, right, is giving you that cloud-like experience out of a box, integrating compute, virtualization, management on a 2U package server. Oops, this slide's a little more condensed than normal, but we work with any OEM you like. You can go with Dell, HPE, Cisco, IBM, Lenovo. We are a software company, so we don't we don't mind, as long as it's on an ACL list, what vendor you guys go with. We do have our virtualization built in to the product as well, called AHV. If you guys are still using VMware, you guys still can. We're hypervisor agnostic. You can use VMware, Hyper-V. But if you're tired of paying for VMware tax, right, the VMware socket licenses, switch over to us. Our virtualization is built in, no extra cost, and it works just as well as VMware. So take a quick step back to understand what HCI is. So our company started maybe 10 years ago. We didn't really go out in the market maybe 7 or so years. So Dheeraj, our founder, came from Google. When he was running Google with his team, what he was finding really early is it's very hard to scale. As you know, Google has petabytes and petabytes of data. They're having a lot of trouble scaling, right, with the point SAN solution. So what they created was the Google file system, which is a software-defined storage. They use white label servers, right? If they need to grow, add more white label servers, grow and expand. Anything fails, take it out, swap it back in. So it's grow fast, fail fast, recover fast, and expand really quickly. So that's the web scale architecture. Dheeraj took that same Google file system, renamed it the DSF, the storage fabric, packaged it to a 2U Nutanix appliance to make it a lot more easier, consumable, and usable to the mid-market and enterprise customers as yourselves. So if you remember a little earlier, I kind of alluded to the name a cloud in a box. You're literally getting a Google Cloud experience in a box in a 2U appliance with Nutanix with that approach. What makes Nutanix HCI the secret sauce is our CVM. You can see that in the middle. The CVM just stands for Controller Virtual Machine. In a normal environment, I'll say most SAN solutions or most storage devices come with 2 physical controllers for failover, right? But that's a bottleneck into your environment. Let's say you have 1,000 servers all logging in to those 2 physical controllers. No matter how fast, if you have all flash SAN or remember how fast that is, still a bottleneck, right? We alleviate that problem by virtualizing the controller and put it on every single node in our environment. Just think of it as more doors in the house to get in. That is how we got our claim to fame with VDI. If you guys ever used VDI before, you might get a bootstorm effect where 100 users all log in at once, all start typing. It'll jam up, and maybe 10 seconds later, it'll start typing for you, right? We eliminated that by having more doors to the house, more I/O. So that is our claim to fame with VDI and Citrix, and that's why Citrix love working with us. But we've gone more than just VDI, right? We can do mission critical workloads, databases, machine learning, Splunk, Robo, any workload you have, we can house it within Nutanix. Question, concern, comments on web scale or anything so far, or everything good? Cool. So Nutanix software is a single solution. You'll see in the lab, you're gonna log into your Prism Element and Prism Central, and that's gonna manage the whole entire product portfolio. It's not in this class or on the slide, but we can also put our software on the public cloud. So we're more of a hybrid cloud company now than just HCI, and we can manage on a single console and Prism Element. Say for example, workload on-prem that you want to migrate out to cloud for busy season or for burst scenarios. We can move data from on-prem to AWS to Azure and vice versa in one storage plane. So very, very powerful tool there. We have another bootcamp with Calm and automation we can dive into as well. But today is the files bootcamp. Okay, so let's dive right into files. The files, right? Modern data storage challenges. Unstructured data is growing very, very, very quickly, as you can imagine. Let's say, for example, Harvey has a cat picture he really likes and send out to all his employees. And then they send it to other employees, right? That can grow very, very quickly. Customers are finding, right? It's growing exponentially. You can see there on the graph. I kind of like to use the iceberg analogy. These slides. In your data file there, right? You might know the tip of the iceberg of the data, but what's underneath it? I call it rot data, right? There's a lot of redundant, obsolete, and trivial data in your file that you might not know of. And that's growing very, very quickly and out of control because you don't know how to manage it. And it's costing companies a lot of money, right? Because it's taking a lot of space in your file there and your storage. You need to grow and expand. How do you manage and mitigate that? So a lot of issues there. I wouldn't say issue, but right, growing exponentially is something you want to be able to manage. Our file system, right? For you guys might not know, we have files analytics built into our product. They can actually scan your file there and show you what data is in there, how long it's been in the storage, is aging out, do we need to archive it, do we delete it, do we move it, right? We can see underneath that 8% of the iceberg with Nutanix built in, so make it a little easier to manage. But what I wanted to hammer on, right? As far as I know, there might be other vendors out there that I don't know of, or they might have caught up, right? But for us, for Nutanix, we can actually do all three storage mode in a single Nutanix cluster, right? So we can do file services, objects, and block in a single cluster. I'll repeat again, all three in a single cluster within Nutanix. If you have, let's say, 300 terabytes of files, we do have dedicated mode, dedicated appliance for those larger files environment as well. Cool. Yeah, so Nutanix files, it's very flexible. It's pay as you grow. We license by usable terabyte. So if you have, let's say, 50 terabytes of files in use today, we'll license you by 50 terabytes. So if you grow by 10, we'll add more 10 terabytes to your licenses. So it's pay as you grow. We'll deploy anywhere, right? On-prem, out in the cloud, robo, and how Nutanix expand and grow. The same scenario with web scale. We'll add more nodes to scale out your filers. I alluded to this before, right? So we have mixed clusters and dedicated mode. Right, mixed, you can do files with your general purpose VMs or databases, what have you. So any customer, right, or buying Nutanix and they have a small files environment, leverage mixed mode. Any larger customers, enterprise that has 30 terabytes or more files, we can do a dedicated cluster with files within your environment. Cool. So what we create is a file server entity. And within the entity, we do start with three, what we call file server VMs. Well, you guys know with Nutanix, we like to start with 3 because of RF2 and RF3, creating duplicated copies of your data or failover or fail scenarios. So we do like to start with 3 FSCVMs, and then they can be grouped together as a file entity with a single namespace. Yeah, so you can have up to 16 file servers per instance, up to 32 nodes within a cluster. So you can have multiple clusters with 32 entities, but with a cluster, I wouldn't say a hard limit, but that's what was tested and proven to work is 32.
So Paul, why don't those match?
Sorry?
Why don't the number of file servers and the number of storage nodes match?
We can grow and expand, right? You might have more nodes than file servers that you need, or vice versa. Grow and expand doesn't have to be one file FSVM to one node. It can be 2 FSVMs per node.
And so I'm assuming with file servers, then you grow those as you need more throughput on the front end.
You grow more if you need more throughput, more resources, more compute. Grow and add more FSVMs from there. Correct.
Cool.
Yeah, you can go anytime you like. Good question. Good questions. Cool. So there's two types of shares. This is where Philip was kind of alluding to, right? We normally, like, if you do distributed shares, we'll do an FSVM per node and then spread out the workload. That way it's not convoluted and taking all resources in one node. We distributed it out between all your nodes, one FSVM per node there. And all that 3 FSVM combined into one entity as your file server namespace. But we also can do standard shares as well, where everyone congregates into one node there. So either spread out or single shares. Cool. So this slide is going over how we read and write, or how we get our data. So let's say user it's searching for a file. He's looking for speedy.xenx.com. Hits a DNS server. It bounces back to him saying it's in FSVM1. Open up the file. Oh, actually, it pings FSVM first, and it's not there. It says it's not there. It will refer over to FSVM2 and open up that file. So again, all this is happening within a split second, but that was just showing you the path where it's going to bounce between FSVMs to find that file for the user that they're looking for. But again, all this is happening within a split second. Right, so we can do both SMB and NFS protocols with Nutanix files. I can see SMB 3.0 plus and NFS version 4. What a lot of people don't know is you can actually have multiple protocols shares. So one share can be both SMB and NFS. So you can see there, all you have to do is select one as your primary, and then click on the button that says also enable NFS access. So you can actually have one share that's shared out to both Windows and Linux, SMB and NFS shares. Cool. Performance optimized rebalancing. So yeah, we can scale out by adding more nodes, or scale up, right? Adding more resources to a single node to be able to house more users. So you can scale out and scale up however you like. Yep. We have Smart DR built in as well. It's going to replicate and fill over all your files over to a secondary site. We can back up every hour, but if you do synthetic fulls, we can back up every minute. How does that work? Is we create one full backup, and then we're only backing up, right, the deltas, the changes, and then roll that into the full base. So whether you want to do 1 minute backup RPOs or an hour, we can do either or. And again, this is native built in to Nutanix that you can do Smart DR and file replication. We still recommend you guys going with third-party vendors like Haiku or Veeam with backups, but this is the native built-in snapshots. We also have inline virus scans as well. It scans prevents writes on infected files. There's third-party like Bitfinder, McAfee, Symantec, easy setup. We'll run through the scan. We also have ransomware detection as well built into our files analytics. I'll show you a little later on the demo, but a lot of protection within our files.
Any questions on any of that before he moves forward? Those are kind of some of the bigger things I want to make sure everybody sees that's part of files, that's already, built-in functionality that you guys can take advantage of.
Yeah. I think you guys will be really impressed by Files Analytics and Data Lens. Hopefully, yeah, that'll get you guys excited for sure. But I got to get to a little bit more of the boring part. We do leverage, right? I would say boring. I think they're pretty cool. We do leverage for backup vendors, change file tracking. We'll be able to take snapshots and backups of just the changes, right? Again, you don't have to back up the whole entire file. Any changes that are made, we do incremental backups and recover single files. So
Paul,
CFT.
I did get a question for you, sir. Go back, I think 2 slides. So the question was, what's better, scale up, scale out, and why?
Scale out would be the easiest with us. Just add more nodes within the infrastructure. Right, how Nutanix scales, right? Add the new node to top of rack switch, will auto detect with IPv6, and we'll just expand and grow within your environment. If failovers happen, we have enough space, right? Everything spread out evenly to fail over. If you scale up, right, one node might be heavier than the other. What if that heavier node fails, right? Would that fit to the other nodes?
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that too. If you've got a file server set up that has, say, 3 nodes that it's using, and you've got 5 nodes, then yeah, like Paul said, the quickest and easiest answer there is to scale out. Just push it out to more nodes. If you have 3 nodes that's set up on, and you only have 3 nodes, then of course that's where you start looking at the scaling up, because there is no out for you. So that would be kind of what I would use as guiding to start with, unless you had a reason why you wanted to keep it confined to a certain set of nodes, and then you're kind of making your decision yourself then, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question? Yep, perfect, thank you. That was a great question.
Yeah, but you could do both, but the engineering answer is it's better to fail if we expand out our nodes.
Yeah, gives
good question. Very
you
good question.
more resiliency there.
So if it is RF2 or RF3, so what would be the data copy in the same cluster? So it will took more space in if I have 2 TB on 3 node cluster.
Yeah,
and
so
if I have configured RF2 or RF3, what is the difference, or who taking more space?
Yeah, RF3 is going to take up more space because it's creating another extra copy. So RF2 creates 1 extra copy. RF3 is going to create 2 extra copies. You do need to start out with 5 nodes for that extra block. Does that make sense?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've got RF3, then you need to have at least 5 nodes so that you have the capability to fail over as you need.
So if it is 1 VM for 500 GB, it will take 1.5 TB, and the RF3.
So your as far as files goes, you don't necessarily have to look at it in that way. So there's not, and Paul, you keep me honest here.
Yeah.
If you're using 500 gigs for your file server versus a total of 1.5 terabyte, that doesn't mean you have to triple your file server footprint. Mostly your compute from the file standpoint, your file server is going to be driven by the kind of throughput you want to get and what you're getting, not so much the actual space that you have carved out for it. Does that make sense?
So, for example, if 1 VM having VMDK and their log files and everything, so in RF2 case, the same image copy with other backup is as it is. If my primary is down, then the secondary is coming up.
It's not backup, right? We'll size differently, a little more for backup sizes. This is creating just an extra copy of the block to another node. So think of it kind of like mirroring and striping.
Mhm.
Where it'll take another 50% of your storage. But you also keep in mind, right? We also compress and dedupe your data as well. We dedupe down to the block level, which will also save a lot more space for you.
Oh, okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
There is
and
any
we'll
exact
size.
calculation we have? Any calculator something?
So we
for
size by
planning?
workload. So it depends on what workload you have. VDI is going to size differently from from Splunk data. It's going to different from files, from databases. We size per workload. So work with your SE. We'll go with you step by step, and we have a sizer tool that will spit out all the information that you have to show you what the results are.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Yeah, like general VMs, you probably get 1 to 5 right down. 1 to 5 ratio. General VMs maybe 1 to 2. Video files aren't very compressible or dedupable. So yeah, it depends on the files and the data that you have. But we'll work with you and size out appropriately. Cool. Hopefully that answered your question. But yeah, just work with us and we'll send you all the data. Again, just for everyone on the call, with Nutanix, we size by workload.
Yes.
Cool. So I alluded to this, files and analytics. Files analytics, again, is part of the bundle. This will scan your filer. Other vendors, you have to buy a third-party product, right, to be able to do this. Again, this is part of our product. It does 3 main things. It gives you data about data. Is it music? Is it MP3s? Is it CAD drawings, videos? What type of file is that data? It can also show you data aging, how long it's been on your filer. And then you can set archiving and retention policies to archive it out. Anomaly detection. You can actually see who accessed the file, when, where, and why. You can see who exited that it shouldn't have. You can actually see if a file or someone, let's say someone deletes 100 files. That's a lot. That's a flag. That's an anomaly. We can detect that as well. So a lot of cool things. And an audit trail, we can search Harvey and see how many files and what he has access.
Hey, that's none of your business. Leave my video library alone.
Game of Thrones videos he's watching, or House of Dragons.
That's right.
We just added ransomware protection. I think there's a couple hundred checks that we go through, and then more and more are adding as we find more ransomware. But ransomware protection is built into Files Analytics. Again, data age, I kind of went over it. How frequently is that data accessed? How long has it been there? Can we delete it? Can we retention it out? Can we move it? We can actually archive directly to AWS S3 as well. Or we have, like I mentioned before, we can also do objects within Nutanix. You can also offload off to object store. Data Lens is the same thing, right? But more of a holistic view. Just for larger enterprise customers, you have multiple sites. You can drill into different sites and drill into different filers and manage all here within Data Lens. And I'll demo that for you guys. Yeah, so this is going over, right? Eliminate silos. You can go ahead and policy-based tier it, right? With your data aging, you can set tags and whatnot to each file and say, hey, set a policy if a file has been there more than 3 years. Go ahead and automatically tier it out to S3 or objects. And we'll dive right into objects here. So objects is built in Nutanix. Same scale out, just like your file servers. Just a heads up, right? If you guys haven't bought NUS, Nutanix Unified Storage, you do get 1 file terabyte to use for free and 2 terabyte of objects for free to use. So definitely check it out, see if you like it. Again, it's the same model, grow as you need. We license per usable terabyte. So if you need 10 terabytes of objects, we'll license you by 10 terabytes, and you grow by 5 more, we'll add 5 more licenses to that. So very easy to license. Again, it's pay as you grow with that license model. It's a software-defined object solution built from our microservices. It's going to build out containers, right? Just like your FSVM, it's going to be 1 per node. Doesn't have to be 1 per node, but it's easier scalable that way. But we can have 2 node 1, 2 node 2, 3 node 3, 4, and whatnot. But we do like to spread it out. What's also cool is it's also, if you have NFS protocol with files, you can use the same NFS protocol to connect to your object store. We can do small, single node and shared cluster, or we can expand it out to 32 nodes within a single cluster. So we can grow as small, right, as 3 nodes, or as big as 32. Again, this is just 1 cluster. So you can have multiple clusters with 32 nodes each, if that makes sense. Question, concern, comments so far? Then you can see you can scale up to hundreds and hundreds of nodes. As you know, object store, you're housing videos, you're housing machine learning, Splunk data, videos. Great use case to use on Nutanix, and how we scale are software-defined. Great product for video storage.
And you mentioned backup too. It's a great repository for backup. I mean, that's one of the key use cases. Well, right there. Lead into it.
Perfect. So glad you brought it up. More thinking, I like that. So, right, I guess here are 4 use cases. Right, 1 is easy long-term retention for archiving. Offload it off your more expensive disk and go to objects. It can be used as a backup target. We do have a backup appliance called Nutanix Mine that's powered by Haiku and Veeam, already pre-installed as a virtual appliance. And single SKU that you guys are purchasing as well. It'll leverage object store for you to be used as a backup target to store.
Well, and as we're talking, go ahead, Harvey.
I was just going to ask if mine for Commvault has been released. I believe.
I'll double check. I think it is. Again, because Commvault does have their own backup target appliance. I believe Commvault has one, and Veritas is coming up soon as well. Yeah. But the 2 biggest one is Haiku.
I just double checked my own work here, and yes, mine with Commvault has been released.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a huge problem. The immutability for Nutanix objects is really helpful. One of those vendors in particular, Veeam, they back up to a file. Well, what happens if your backup file gets encrypted? Your insurance policy's effectively no longer useful. So the immutability, the worm features here in Nutanix file makes it a great choice for Veeam backup repositories as well, and software defined, so you can expand it, which is another concern I know from managing Veeam backups in the past.
Yeah, and we also partner with NVIDIA for machine learning, perfect storage for machine learning, and also Splunk data. NASDAQ is our biggest customer that uses Splunk on objects within Nutanix. So a lot of cool things we can do with object store, and we'll create those buckets and store everything for you. Cool, so we're heading up at 12 o'clock. You guys want to take a quick 10-minute bio break? Let me set up my lab environment. I'll do a demo for you guys, and we'll get you guys set up with the test drive lab. So let's take a 10-minute break, come back, I'll do a demo, and we'll kick it off.
Sounds good. Happy New Year. Oh.
I did like that countdown.
All right, welcome back.
Hardy, if you don't mind, putting the test drive on link to the chat. Let's have them log into it because it might take them
Absolutely.
spin up.
Absolutely.
Mine actually spin up within like 2 seconds, but just in case.
All right, into the chat enters the test drive link. So for all of you under the sound of my voice, if you will go ahead and click that. Just want to make sure everybody can get to the site and get set up here. You will need your work email and phone number.
Is it showing the right screen? Does it say test drive on my screen?
Yes, we see it.
Cool. So once you guys get the test drive link, it should go up to here for you guys where it says file, objects, and block. Go ahead and put in your work email. Hit continue. And it's just you an email. Let me pull it up here. Let me share the whole screen, be easier. It should pop an email with the code to add in. Once you get this email, copy this code, and it should be pop into the test drive environment. Once you guys are here, go ahead and click connect. And it should log you right into a file server. And you click on quick links. You can see the different labs you guys can do. So there's file test drive, objects, the whole 9 yards. But let's go, if you go to file test drive, consolidate your data main menu.
Let's make sure they're at least getting where you are so far. So everybody should have the link now. It is in the chat. If you will go there, you should be able to get logged in with your work email, your phone number, and that should send you an email. I guess I will stop there. And you guys let me know where you are in that process. If you have not gotten that far, please let me know. I am hearing nothing. I am seeing nothing. So either they are there or they're just ignoring me. All right, let's try the reverse. If you are there, please let me know.
Hey guys, sorry. I'm at the section that says active test drives, unified storage test drives, and it says provisioning status 0.
Oh, is it provisioning for you?
Yep. It says this test drive is currently experiencing a higher than normal request volume.
I wonder why that might be. Bill, how many tabs you got open over there?
Well, let me close down a few. Click. Yeah.
I'm getting the same issue, unified storage disk drive.
Let's give it a minute to catch up.
Okay.
We're all hitting it.
Let it, like I said, it might take 10 minutes because there's 15 of us now logging in. I'm sure there's other boot camps running with other events.
I'm sorry, what did you say the access code was? Our phone number?
No, so the access code.
You get an access code in your email.
Yeah, you get an email. This is the Nutanix test drive. Let me pop it up here. So when I signed up, I got this email, and it gives you the access code.
So this test till what time available we can do?
You can do this whenever you want. Yeah.
No. Till what time? Means only 2 days, for 2 days, or anytime you can do this?
You can put it up anytime you want.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So if it doesn't work now, it's just wait later today. You can always hop onto it.
Yeah, Paul.
Mine says probable time elapsed 3 minutes. It's estimated 90 to 120 minutes.
Well, all right. I guess we successfully overloaded it. So, Paul, you can keep going through since you're here, and that way you guys can still see it. But if you will save this link, like Paul said, this is available to you 24/7 anyway. So if you don't get in right this very second, that's okay. You can still go back through it at your leisure.
It might spin up once I'm done with my demo, so just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
But once you're in, this will pop up. Sorry, click on connect. I might have already went through it.
Yeah, you click
on connect. You'll get into this Prism Central. Down here on quick links is where you can select the lab. So right, there's a files lab and there's an object lab. Start out with files if you guys like. And you scale out file server. And you can see it's gonna go through the lab. This is actually the lab guide here, the pop-ups. So just follow the pop-up. Read what it has to say.
And just for the record, while that's loading up, it was Phil's turn to sacrifice to the demo gods today.
But you see, just follow step by step where the arrow is pointing. Click wherever it wants you to click. Here, you'll go through deploy a file server. Just read through and just follow step by step. So see here, it's pointing me to go to home. Go to file server. And just build out from there. So I won't go step by step. I'll let you guys play with it. Again, just read it line by line, follow the arrow, and just follow through the clipboard here. Again, we'll be here for another 30 minutes, hour after my demo, just to see who got in, and then we can help out if anyone having issues. But the lab is pretty self-explanatory. You can follow these chat bubbles, and it'll guide you through how to create to the lab. Cool. But let me do this quick demo here for you guys. You guys will go through, like I showed you before, Data Lens is files analytic, but in a higher holistic view. You can see here I have two sites, one in the US and one in Europe. You have more sites, so you can click and see your different sites, and you can see all your different file server from there. So we've got a lot in this demo. This is a holistic view where you can manage. Right, you can see we have 13 file servers, 56 shares, total capacity of 8 terabytes, you have 1 users, 26 directories, 36,000 directories, sorry, and 3.7 million files in this whole environment. You can drill down and see the list of your file servers, or just click on the data center with the file server underneath that data center. Let's go ahead and go into one. So let's go to file server 7. A lot of cool things you can see in this graph, right? You can see a data growth trend. See every month what data is growing. Go from the last 7 days, last 30 days, or within the last year. You can see month by month, net change, data added, data removed, how your data is growing, data growth trend. Data summary by data age and storage tier. You can see cold, hot, warm data. click on Smart Tiering Dashboard. This is where I was going over. You can set those policies, however long you want to keep it for. And you can see here, this policy is tiering out to the AWS S3 bucket. I'm setting that threshold at 50, but you can set your schedule. Tiering policy, if it, well, right now it's by 5 days, but right, you can set it for weeks, months, or years. Let's say you tag a data for 7 years, right? If data hits 7 years, it'll go ahead and tier out to wherever you want to tier out next on your policy. More likely than not, you'll tier out to S3. But
So,
to set your
Paul, I got a
tiering
question for you there on that, on the tiering policy you had up. So it says here, data access age. Are we saying that the data is older than 5 days or hasn't been accessed in 5 days? For that?
Haven't been accessed in 5 days.
Yeah, and so I wanted to make sure that that was understood by everybody. This is intelligently keeping track of how often the data is being accessed. And you can set policies around what to do if that data hasn't been accessed in a certain amount of time. Not how old it is, but how long it's been since somebody touched it.
Good point. Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, I went back. You can also see a quick view of some anomalies. You can see Sharon got a bunch of denials. You can hit her up and see what's been going on. Top active users, access files have been accessed the most, and data but data, right? How much are videos, how much are CD, DVD images, system files, right? Data by data within your environment. So pretty cool things to see. Really quick on the dashboard. You want to first run the scan. I won't run it because I already ran, but right, a couple of main things that you're gonna see, right? 3 main things: audit trail, anomaly, and you can see ransomware protection is also built in. It's gonna run through a couple of checks. Make sure there's block file signatures. You can add more to the environment. Let's go to audit trail. You can search for a file. Let's see if I can search for something. Let's do a wildcard search for any text files. Or let's see. Yeah, this environment doesn't have anything, but you can search specific files. Once it pops up, click on the file. Then you can see who accessed it, how long it's been there. A lot of information on that there. Let's see if I can't look up user. See if this works. I know I saw Sharon. Yeah, you can look up user. So we found Sharon. You can view and audit her. You can see she created 130 files. She's deleted 60. Made permission changes, how much she's read. A lot of information on Sharon. So if you notice, she's deleted a bunch of files. Like, hey, Sharon, what's going on? Or deleting something, or you can see deeper, right, information on Sharon. Again, our file analytics dive into Active Directory, so it ties into AD to see all your users within your environment. So pretty cool stuff with Anomaly. Sorry, with Audit Trail. But with Anomaly, like I mentioned before, you can set limits, right? Again, if Sharon deletes 100 files, set a limit. If someone deletes 100 files, flag it, and it'll announce like, hey, Sharon did all that deletion. So let's define an anomaly rule. by default, someone already created delete. If someone deleted 100 files, flag it. Well, let's create a new one. A couple here, right? You can see you do someone created files, delete, permission change. If someone logs the file, position denied, they got denied 5 times, 3 times, flag and alert it. Or if someone renamed something. So min and max, let's do hit 10% or operation counts. Again, 3 times. They got permission denied 3 times. We'll flag it and let's get to know. Let's see who got denied 3 times and why they try to access that file 3 times. So you can set up those anomaly roles. If there's an intruder, or you have a disgruntled employee that's trying to destroy the company before they leave, this will flag them down. Question, concern, comments?
So back on the ransomware protection, it looked like you showed a file signature. Is that like known ransomware?
These are the known ones.
Yeah. So you're actually looking for known scripts and things like that that may exist in the environment.
These are the known ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can update the block student list as well.
Is that completely managed, or can we add our own?
You can add our own. You can update the managed block list. Should be able to and upload it up from here.
That's fantastic.
Cool. Any other questions, concern, comments on Data Lens or files analytics? Like I said, this is bundled together in NUS. So normally you have to buy another product within your environment. This is part of a solution. I always use that Databerg analogy. You know the tip 5-10% of your data, but what's underneath it, who's accessing it, why, data aging, is it rotting, is it obsolete, trivial, can you condense, save space in your data center? We have a lot of customers that are able to shrink down their file storage footprint because of files analytics, and it saves time on management, right? They're saving time, cost, the whole 9 yards with this whole product solution.
Right. And that's the other piece, the 2 things that I will hit on. Number one, I look at this and I go, that looks expensive, but it's included.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
And then the second, I already forgot, but it'll come back. The second was around, this ability to be able to host your files out. We're not talking about having a bunch of different Windows servers you got to get licensing for, you got to do Windows updates for, you got to do antivirus for. We're talking about ready built, already integrated into Nutanix, still able to control it through a web page, something that's common to you, something that's easy, and then be able to do all that we just talked about, plus see who accessed what and when, plus be able to see what's happening with block file signatures, plus ransomware protection, plus the ability to do inline virus scan. This is much, much easier and better to me than having a bunch of Windows servers hanging around.
Well, and your Windows servers generally turn into black boxes because you don't know what's going on inside of them. There's no built-in tools to give you this kind of feedback of, are you past your retention policies? If you're only supposed to keep things for 10 years, what can you get rid of?
Right.
I know in my past organizations, we've never had a great way of identifying and cleaning up file shares. It's just kind of a place that we're always perpetually adding a little more storage to.
Or the time to do it.
Well,
does it for you automatically. Nobody's touched that for 5 days. Get it out of here. Nobody's touched that for 5 years. Put it over there. Like, it's already happening.
let's just make another copy of it there.
Oh my gosh.
Like I said, people are sending PowerPoints left and right to Slack, to email. There's a copy over there, bunch of copies everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's another important thing. We talked a little bit about the underlying data services and the power of dedupe and compression and things like that. So if you've got 10 or 20 copies of the same presentation, you're not actually saving them, but you've got all of those files at the file layer presented out to the user, but you may not need to actually consume that on the underlying storage, right?
That's right.
Cool. Was anyone able to get here?
Mine's still sitting at the 9%.
Ah, geez. Yeah, apologies, guys. There's a lot of people logging today.
So I
I'm sure
got
there's
a
other
quick
group here
question on this. Sorry, I missed the beginning. I was having problems with my microphone.
No worries.
Let's say on a standalone deployment, right? We have a cluster standalone, right?
Mhm.
Not embedded into an existing deployment. We still need the 3 virtual machines. How does it work with storage heavy nodes or storage only nodes, right? How do we handle, can we have a mix, right, of your standard model, right, for files, but then can we add storage heavy enclosures also?
Yeah, so you can add the storage heavy enclosures. This kind of goes to a little bit toward the conversation earlier of scale up versus scale out. If you've got a certain amount of storage heavy nodes, then of course that'll make more sense as to where you try to get your file share centered around. So that might be a scale up type of deployment rather than scale out to some of the nodes that are not as storage heavy. So that would be, one of those types of decision points. But yes, you can, continue to add some of the storage heavy nodes if you wanted to. But also be aware when you're adding storage heavy nodes to a cluster that doesn't have storage heavy nodes, that has implications on where and how you can fail over. Because you don't have balance between the entire cluster. So depending on the reason why you have the storage only nodes, it might make sense to have those separated out into another cluster, another set of resources. It might make sense to have everything all combined. That's more of a conversation that we would want to make sure that we're having before you do that type of deployment. So just keep that in mind too.
So it does have to have a balanced deployment when we start talking about storage heavy, right? So
it does not have to have that type of balance, but what I'm putting in front of you is I would want you to know what it means to not have that type of balance. What happens when you're doing updates to your cluster and you have to reboot nodes and things like that. If you've got some storage heavy and some that are not storage heavy, obviously you take a bigger hit to storage when you reboot the one that is storage heavy. So I want to make sure that we're having those conversations, that you know exactly what's going on. And again, that you make kind of conscious decisions, smart decisions, decisions with intelligence, and not just going into it, not knowing that this might happen or that might happen if you're not balanced all the way through.
okay.
That makes sense.
And just another question, and I might be jumping the gun here. And if I am, just tell me, and then I'll wait till we get to that point.
No, you're good.
I had a deployment a couple of years ago, an existing deployment where files were introduced with an existing cluster.
Okay.
And one of the issues that we had was that we were unable to successfully back up files with the existing backup environment. And we were told that we needed to utilize Haiku, or there was another vendor out there that much smaller vendor than Haiku that also provided the services. why would files not work on, let's say, on a rubric environment or maybe a Veeam environment for backups?
So
It works
some of-
rubric now.
Oh, it does work now?
Yeah, how long ago was this?
I'm gonna say about 2.5 years.
Okay. Well, are you running AHV or are you running VMware?
VMware.
Mhm. The reason why we want to do Haiku, Veeam, and certain partners, vendor-wise, is for change file tracking and backup specific the file level. Otherwise, other backup vendors, I can't speak for all of them. It might be able to just back up the whole entire file server, but not down right to the file level.
Correct.
Haiku, Veeam can do that. Rubik should be able to do it now. Veritas and Commvault, if not already, should also be able to do that now.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's what it was, and you nailed it right. It was down to the file level. If there was a need to back up and restore an individual file,
Yep,
that's
yep.
where we were having the issue, and we
Yep.
actually had to reach out to Haiku in order to see if we can come up with a solution for this particular deployment. So
Yeah, different backup vendors have different ways to approach backup, but also different partnerships with Nutanix. Nutanix has APIs everywhere that people are able to access, but it all depends on the backup vendor that you're using, whether or not they use that, whether or not they choose to tie into that. Those are all choices that they get to make that Nutanix can't say, you will do it this way. Nutanix provides the platform, provides the APIs, provides the capability for them to be able to use it. And then they decide exactly how it is that they want to roll out according to their product.
Okay.
That also has you've got some choices there on not just what you use to back up, but where you're backing it up and to what level. And again, those are all choices that as we go through it, as we are talking, more and more detailed to you guys individually about your environments, those are details that we want to make sure that we go through to help you make the right decisions. Again, so that you have the information in front of you before you go and make decisions that might limit you in some way. If we can see that, if we can foreshadow that, if we can talk about those things first, then hopefully we save you from falling into some of those potholes.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't want to hijack the meeting.
No,
but
please do.
But I had another question.
This time is for you guys.
I've come across another issue where we were deploying virtual machines on the Azure cloud, and we needed for them to have access to this file data, right? But it was on-prem. Is the ability to also have an active copy on any cloud service provider in order to minimize that travel?
Yes, but we have to pair up with our partner company called PEER software to replicate files out to do it right to the cloud. I think that's what you're looking for.
Yep.
Talk to your Nutanix account rep and SC. They'll work with you to get PEER involved to replicate out. We also did just announce that we can now do Azure as well.
Okay.
So you might have talked to them maybe a couple months in the past. That's when Azure's not GA'd yet.
Yep.
But we should be able to now with Azure being GA'd.
Okay,
So
perfect.
definitely
Thank you.
reconnect with the account rep and have that conversation again. We should be able to do that now for you.
Yeah, it was not available at that time, and we had to use another third-party vendor. I can't remember the vendor right off the top of my head.
It might have
but
been
it was
PEER
one-
that I just mentioned, PEER.
Okay. No, we did not go with them. We had to use not Nasuni, but the competitor to Nasuni. Those guys. I can't remember their name right off the top of my head.
No worries, I'm blanking out as well. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Penzura. Sorry, it was Penzura.
Yeah.
We had to use Penzura in order to replicate from on-prem to the cloud and keep those two files in sync and prevent virtual machines on the cloud to come back on-prem.
Correct. Yeah. So like I said, the answer is yes, we can do it, but we need to partner up with our partner alliances.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Absolutely.
But the answer is yeah, it's doable. And again, we should G8 Azure, so it'd be even more smoother now.
Okay.
Definitely reconnect with XenTegra and connect with our account SC, and we'll work it through with you.
Is
the answer
there
yes, we
an
can do it.
additional license for that, or is that part of the bundle?
I have to ask the account rep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that also depends on which way you go with it. There's more than one way to do that. So again, you kind of we'll help get you the information, and then that way you can make an informed decision.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
No problem. Thank you. Anyone else have questions, concern, comments, or anything? This time is for everyone.
Absolutely. You are here. It is free. Get everything you want out of it.
And again, the test drive link, you can log into whenever you want. If it doesn't work now, just wait until later today or the weekend. You can spin it up whenever you want. And I'll just show it real quick again. It's very simple to go through. Just follow the chat bubble. If you remember the old Microsoft days with the clipboard guy that pops up and tells you how to work Microsoft Word.
Clippy.
Yes. That's it. Just remember, if nothing pops up, just click on the quick links down here. It'll get you through.
Way to make me feel older.
Yep. Cool. If nothing else, appreciate everyone's time.
I actually had a question.
Yeah, please.
This is going to be a little bit around performance as well. And so I've not dug into it a lot, but one of the things I've seen is, so we're using it strictly for Citrix VDI. So we have I think we're at 12 nodes at this point with a 3-node file server. And so what, well, I see sometimes where the profile will load fast, and it could be large or it could be small. And, large or small meaning, I can see one that's, I don't know, 3.2 gigabytes, and then someone else will have an 8 point whatever gigabyte one. So I'll see one that like loads fast meaning 30 seconds, and it could be the large one, and it may take 2 minutes for the smaller one to load. Now, so it doesn't really make any sense. And like I said, I've not really dug into it at all, but we are using Nutanix files for the profile server.
So I guess the first thing that I think when I hear that, and I kind of know a little bit about your environment, but I'm going to try to ignore that for a minute. The first thing that I think when I hear you've got 12 nodes that you're running your deployment on, and then your file server is on 3, that immediately says to me we might need to get that scaled out to more nodes. But
that's what I was thinking as well. But
yeah, so the next thing though, do you know roughly how much space you have dedicated for your files deployment?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, that's okay. That's something that we can talk to you about kind of off of this one-on-one. But just keeping it to that, if you told me that it was something huge, then that would continue to point me in the direction I was thinking. But also, your comment around not knowing, well, your implication there about not knowing exactly which node it's coming from and which one the user's in, basically versus what nodes you have the file servers on. That would be what I'm thinking too. So I think we're kind of aligned there. I guess that was a very long way around saying I'm pretty sure we can fix what you're describing.
So basically what we're saying then is it's basically node 11 is trying to hit node 2 to pull the files across.
Well, yeah,
is that kind of what you're saying?
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I would have to see more in depth to say that is what's happening or not. Because the thing that gives me pause in saying that is if you were just describing, it happens 30 seconds over here, and sometimes it happens in 45 seconds. That would be more of my thinking around what that looks like. The fact that you said that sometimes it takes 2 minutes makes me think there's something else at play. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think it's too long to be just that explanation. It should not be that slow, even if number 1 was going, even if number 11 was going to number 2. Should not be that slow. You should not be able to detect like that would be like what, 4 times as much time, 4x? That's way too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but let's talk about that more, and try to get you an answer on that.
Okay.
But that's a great question. Definitely a good conversation for us to have.
I have one last question to
Sure.
you all, but it is not related to today's session. It is different from today's session. I need some documents, or you can say any site or files. I need to upgrade my current cluster to 6.5 or something what is coming right now. And I have the mixed environment, AHV and also ESXi. How to do the procedure follow for CVM
Está en la entrada
upgrade?
del avión por aquí. Aquí hay 3 sillas donde podemos sentar.
It's someone say in between. I think by mistake the mic is on. I think
that's okay.
So I need some support file to how to upgrade AHV. We have the mixed environment. Few cluster having ESXi, and few having your AHV from Nutanix. The procedure I have to follow to complete all the migration from old to new, including CVM.
So let me make sure I heard you correctly there. You want to get some questions answered around upgrading AHV?
Upgrading AHV, also ESXi. Both cluster is different.
Correct.
The procedure follow to upgrade from new version, but right now available in AHV. Yeah.
So
including CVM.
You will have 2 different journeys for those. When you're upgrading AHV, you can do that directly out of Prism. You have the option to do that there. Paul, if you still have the cluster up, will you show that real quick? And for VMware, your upgrade process isn't going to come out of the same console. You will do that direct through, you can do it through vCenter. And Phil, I'll let you speak on that, Phil. You're the expert over there.
Yeah. Ferguson, do you know what version you're running on right now?
It is 5.9 or something. If I heard.
Okay. That'll be easy to update to the latest version. Right, just go on this console, click on the gearbox, upgrade software. And the latest version should be 6.5. There it is. Let's go ahead and download it.
So this is also doing CVM upgrade, including this process.
Yeah, so this is upgrading the AOS and AHV. EXXI, like Harvey mentioned, you have to do that separately with VMware.
Okay, if you could send me any document link or something, I can go through it. I understand the procedure. If you can help.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, upgrading from 5 to 6 is simple. Anything lower might have a couple steps, but you're there. Sorry, Philip, I think you're going over something.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, order of operations is gonna be important when you start talking about the vSphere environment. And you know, you'll generally start with your vCenter first, and then from there you can push out your updates using their update manager, which is built into vCenter. But you know, if you hit problems and things like that, certainly something that we can talk you through, or you can talk with someone on our team to get some assistance.
Sure, Philip. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Jim, I see your hand raised.
Yes, I just had a quick question. I recently did the AOS. We have a bunch of updates that need to be done on our platform. And I recently did the AOS update, not a problem, very smooth, click, done.
Yep.
There's a ton of firmware updates on all, we have 4 nodes or 4 hosts, and all of them have firmware updates that need to be done. So I talked to Nutanix support and they said, oh yeah, just hit the select all and just do it. It'll be fine. So I thought, I'll just do one. And it was fine, except they never warned me that the VMs on that host were going to restart. And I talked to somebody, the guy who set it up for us afterwards, and he said, no, they should not have restarted. They should have gone into maintenance mode.
Correct, yes.
And moved to another node. But they did restart. Was there something that maybe I did wrong during that procedure, or do they need to be manually put into maintenance mode first, that host?
Oh,
No.
I guess what points me cut out there a little bit. The first thing that points me to that I would have to look at, oh, I guess it's on my side. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you now.
Yep, we hear you.
Well, all right then. So, sorry, the first thing that I would be looking at here, Paul, if you're on LCM, will you go back to just the homepage? First thing that I would be looking at is right here in the middle toward the bottom where it says data resiliency status. And you see this one says critical, no disk resiliency. The first thing that I questioned is whether or not yours also said critical and you didn't have any resiliency.
Oh, good point. Yeah, might not be able to roll over.
So, right. So your VMs would have been restarted if you did not have the path to resiliency where they could just move over without being restarted. That's the first thing that makes me think of.
Yeah, and also is HA enabled. Are you running VMware or AHV?
Also HA enabled, yes.
VMware.
Yeah, make sure HA is enabled.
Okay.
And DRS, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good catch, Harvey. I don't know why it's Friday. Very good catch. Very good catch.
Man, today feels a bit like Stump the Chump. Let's go.
I like it. It's keeping me sharp.
It is.
Good questions. Good questions.
Well, I have another question then for you.
All right,
Please.
let's go.
So just real quick, I went to do the AOS when I did that update. I went to do the one-click update and I could not get it to work. And I was on support for, I couldn't even tell you how long. And finally, they're like, hey, I mean, this guy was doing all kinds of logs and everything. And then finally, he's like, let's try it through LCM. We do it through LCM, boom, it worked right away. So why didn't the one-click upgrade work?
So,
it might have been you need to upgrade all your firmware and everything.
That's
should've ran through the
exactly where I
checks.
was going.
Okay, well,
Make
they're
sure-
related then. Okay.
Make sure all the checks are run.
Yeah, I did the
that's
checks, I did
compatible.
the inventory. Yep.
Yeah, so what LCM did, it upgraded all your firmware as well.
Right.
Right.
So
Yep,
yeah, you can see
that's
here the
right.
update. You can also just run the SCG check yourself manually by clicking on this.
I did, yeah, yep.
Yep. Mhm.
Thank you.
Great question.
Absolutely.
Great question. Got us thinking. I like it.
Yeah, man. I'm all
Hey
about
team,
it.
don't forget to share this recorded video, please.
Yes. Yeah, we record these and push them out. No
Yeah,
problem.
thanks for.
Cool. Again, I apologize for the test drive slowing down. Yeah, we apologize for that. But again, it's available anytime. Yeah, and we do a series of these boot camps. So we always start out right first with HCI core, and then we always do files, and then the third one we'll do either database or EUC. We kind of mix and match the third one, but we'll do a series of 3. So be sure to catch the next one. I think in December we're doing ERA on Nutanix database as a service. Harvey,
That's right.
if not mistaken, please hop onto that one. Database as a service is a huge product of ours. Yeah, we can build out provision databases on the fly, manage and patch that and grow that for you. It's an awesome product with a Nutanix to definitely take a look at and leverage. But we're doing a series. Be sure to hop onto each of the
Yeah, absolutely. It's every month we've got a different one coming for you. So definitely jump on. I mean, you can already see, those of you who are still hanging around, the kind of value you can get out of these if you just hop off mute and ask some questions. So we're definitely here to help and do what we can to get you from where you are to where you need to be. But yeah, I like the brain test. Maybe we figure out how to put that in there.
Let me pull up one last slide before everyone hops out. Give me 2 seconds to pull it up.
Time's up.
Damn it. 1. Hold your breath. So yeah, I just want to show you guys this slide here. So right, Nutanix platform, we're more right than just HCI and the main platform and files. Again, we bridge private and public cloud. Our first bootcamp in the series, like I mentioned before, is always the first modernizing infrastructure with HCI. We do have networking micro-segmentation built in. We're going to add more layers and layers and layers to your environment. And each of these you get boot camps for. So the one you guys are on today is to consolidate your data with block, file, and objects. Alluded earlier with Calm, we have automation boot camps and business continuity with Nutanix Mine. So you can see different layers that we have on, and each of these have their own camps. And this is just the naming convention of our products. Don't get boggled down by the names. Just know what we do and the different layers that we're adding on top of your HCI. And again, now we can send data out to public cloud. AWS has been GA'd forever now, and we just GA'd Azure. But questions, concern, comments on the slide or anything cool that piqued your interest? Anyone interested? I remember someone saying they're interested in automation. Flow network segmentation is a good one as well. Anything pique your interest or any comments and concerns anyone might have?
Jeff, anything coming up on Move?
I don't think we have a boot camp on Move, but I can send you a video on how Move works.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to jump on.
I have that link. Harvey, I'll send it to you. You can send it to Bill.
Yeah, more than happy to jump on with you to kind of go through that.
But yeah, good question. A lot of our products are using that Move infrastructure or technology anyways. Right? Automation, moving out to the cloud uses Nutanix Move. But I'll send a video over to you so you can take a look at. You have more questions, reach out to us.
Thanks.
Move, yeah, Move just it's a virtual appliance that you install, and it does the conversion and the data migration with Nutanix Move. But
Yeah,
boot camp wise,
if you could also add me to that, when you send out that video, that link, I'd like to have that too.
Okay,
yeah, Harvey, I'll just send it to you and you can send it to everyone.
absolutely.
We might, I don't know if we open it to the customers, but I know we do have like services classes. I'll double check on those. Our services classes, right, go over data migrations and all that. Just not sure if it's open to partners. Oh, sorry, open to customers just yet. I'll double check. But if anything, I can send you those videos to watch and take a look at. Cool. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention up here, you can see Era. We're trying to make it a standalone product as well. COM is also trying to become a standalone product, just for right what we're trying to do with our products. You can see here, Era database as service will provision now SQL, Oracle, Pass and Grow. A lot of times customers just wants to build out their application, but you don't really want to know or build out the database in the back end. This will take care of that for you guys. So coming up December, a great boot camp to check out and hang out with us. But cool. Again, that's all I have for you guys today. And again, apologies for the slow test drive. But take a look. You have Harvey and Philip's email. If you run into any problems with test drives, just hit us up. But again, those pop bubbles will guide you pretty well to the labs. But yeah, I hope today was a benefit for you guys to take a look at and hopefully learn something. December will be a good one as well with Era.
Yes, absolutely. And that actually, let me go look. Let me go out to events.XenTegra.com so I can find out what date it's on. Yes, I use the website too. Shops. All right. December 16th, Friday, December 16th, 11 Eastern. All right. Any more questions? Any more stump the chump? Toss one Phil's away. It's his turn. All right. Well, have a great Friday, a wonderful weekend, and we will hopefully talk to all of you soon.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.